Hello, welcome to Life Porn Me a Double. Here we speak about all things life.
Whether it be the stresses or the joys, we're here to discuss it all. I'm Lewis Ralphs, aka It's Lewis Ralphs.
And I'm Gareth Degnan, aka Two Ability for Cosplay. You can find all of our socials in the link below. Today we have on a guest who is quite big on TikTok. You'll have seen him about. It's Conzo. Conzo, why don't you tell us a wee bit about yourself?
Oh, hello. Okay, I'm gonna. Is that my time to jump in? Yeah, my name is Conzo. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Also showed my balls on national television, which was fun. I originally started the internet because I was a sex worker, or still am a sex worker, and I used that money to fund my animal sanctuary that I've started in Fife. So that's my whole stick and kabeel, or whatever the saying is.
You showed your balls on national TV.
Yeah, this is why I asked. Like, do you know like what I've done? I was on Naked Attraction.
Oh, right, yeah, right. I didn't know. Right, that's one thing I didn't know.
Yeah,
You're
I've been on.
Attractions. How was that for
yeah.
you?
It was cold. I was nervous. I'm starting to make excuses now, but I've also been on a few radio shows, BBC Scotland or something like that, to advocate for sex workers' rights. And I was also on Channel 4's, what do you call it? Dating a sex worker. It was a small little thing. I was on their Instagram. My face was right there. It was nice.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, Christ. Sorry,
It's a weird life,
that
but someone's got to live it.
oh, definitely. Listen, the weirdest lives are the best life. I always say there's no such thing as normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's. But at that, Naked Attraction, my friend actually signed me up to Naked Attraction once. Just like, he didn't tell me he was doing it. He signed me up. I got an email through, so confused. And then about 2 weeks later, he started asking me, "Have you had any emails through?" I'm like, "What? Hold on."
Yeah,
But
Naked Attraction is actually really tricky. I didn't know I was signing up for it when I was signing up for it because they posted in my university page. It was like overheard in your town, which is viewed by the university and students and whatnot. And they're like, "Who wants to try a new dating show where you
yeah.
gotta be really brave?" And I was like, "I'm single. I might as well." An hour into the phone call, they're like, "Have you ever heard of Naked Attraction?" I said no. A couple months later, everyone saw my penis.
Oh, well, there we go. Jeez.
Um,
Oh, Christ. And so, as you say, you're a sex worker, so you do OnlyFans, if I'm right.
Yep.
Yeah. And I take it that's doing quite well if you've opened up your own, like, animal sanctuary.
It does all right. The some months are better than other months. The sanctuary has a lot of expenditures, even though we're just getting started. So it covers that. Plus, we're able to save enough. But if you ever looked at the price of a barn, they're like 70,000 pounds. It's going to take a lot.
Yeah.
Even planning permission alone, just to be able to build the barn, is going to cost, I think, close to 10,000. Installing electricity, that's going to be another 10,000. So I've not made nearly enough, but I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, it's just that persevering and getting through. Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
little bit by little
talking
bit.
about obviously OnlyFans, like I've never done it, anything like that. But obviously, I've got a couple of mates that have done it, or for certain reason, anything like that. But how does it work? Like, obviously, people can obviously subscribe to your page and they get exclusive content and things like that. But you can do extras, can't you?
Yeah, so think of OnlyFans as kind of like a subscription service behind a paywall, like a Netflix, or actually better, Amazon Prime would be a better way to go. So you have your initial selection, which is like your Instagram wall. As soon as you pay, you get to see all that, all the content there, and you get to directly message the people. Some people like to send out extra films, or you can request extra stuff, and those are called PPVs, or pay per view.
Yep.
And that way, you kind of have like a build your own porn, like you make your own adventure kind of thing. Or if they send out something that they don't usually do, you can pay a little extra to get that. I tend to stay away from that because my price is like 12 quid, which is a lot of money nowadays.
Yeah.
You think about it, like 3 years ago, someone would buy feet pics for a couple hundred quid. Now they're like, $12 to see your butthole 900 times? No, thank you. Like, come on.
Oh, no. See, for OnlyFans has always been a very, since it came out, it's been a very, I think niche is the word, like, concept for a lot of people. Like, it's become, over the past few years, I feel it's become a very big thing, considering, like, how restricted the world's view on sex work has been. So if you're an advert for advocate for that. You've obviously like you're one of the many voices that done well for it. But
Yeah, well, when you think about sex work being such an umbrella term from like in person and in person services to they have dancers, they have cam, they have everything. It kind of falls under the umbrella of sex work. What I think OnlyFans has done a really great job of is taken the idea of sex work to someone working the street and having this like really heavily stigmatized version to the person that you went to math with, to your neighbor, to everyone really, your favorite content creators. They're all now classified as sex workers, even if they don't see themselves as that. That's what they are. And I think as it goes, the more shoulders that carry the stigma, the less heavy it will be for all of us.
yeah, definitely, definitely. What else you got
I
in? You
do
want to add?
feel like it's kind of yeah. I feel like now it's kind of a go-to. You know what I mean? You can look at some of the top creators or YouTubers or whatever it may be, and some of them go on there and obviously earn hundreds of thousands in one day. There was that, I can't remember the name of that woman who went on it. She literally was on it for 24 hours and she earned like nearly $1 million or something. She
Was that
earned
not
just from
Bella
literally
Thorne?
one day.
Ooh, Bella Thorne, the creator of porn. Oh, so there's a lot of there's a problem with this in the sex work industry. People, especially celebrities, coming in, making all this money, but not also accepting the title of sex worker because they have so many followers. They will never be affected by the stigma.
Yeah.
And they will come in and they will do the bare minimum. They're like, okay, here's me in a bikini, which is fine, but they're charging people. Bella Thorne is the reason that we cannot accept tips over 100 quid now. It used to be you could tip whatever you wanted, but now they've limited that because so many people are doing refunds because they paid for something that was falsely advertised from her. Then they all got their money back. What you think that because sex work is a little bit more mainstream and all these celebrities are doing it, it's still incredibly it's still stigmatized. They're still discriminated against through lawmaking, through this thing called the Nordic model, which I fiercely fight every chance that I get, or through celebrities coming and trying to take advantage of the community while giving nothing back to it.
Oh, all right. It was like, so you had. For me, I understand what you mean by Bella Thorne with that, with going on and making all that money. And there was another one. Is it Bad Baby? I think
Catch
she
Me
goes
Outside.
by.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Catch Me
Catch Me.
Outside.
Yeah,
I,
'cause
I would like to say that she started on her 18th birthday and uploaded so much content that none of that could have been taken on that day. So
yeah,
technically, people are purchasing things that were taken when she was 17,
yeah,
and that is something that we should have caught out. And I think a lot of
mm,
sex workers did call that out, but people are still buying it.
yeah. Oh well, definitely. Well, keep up the good work then, because I know for a lot of people, like it's there's Rebecca Goodwin. She started out on TikTok and then started doing OnlyFans and all that. But she's literally worked her way up to work with some genuine porn actors like Danny D and things like that. And she done it all just so she had a way to support her kids and get a house for them. No, that was her goal, and she reached it. And she's done really well with it. So if
Yeah,
you know,
she's done very well, but she's kind of had to drag her way there through
mm,
the misogyny, the sexism, the social and religious rigotry of how people react to it. And the weirdest thing is, I get none of that. I do really well on social media and platforms, and all I get is hype when I talk about this
mm,
stuff. But my feminine presenting people across the aisle for me they breathe, and someone's like fatherless. Bitch, I've not had a father my entire life. No one has ever called me fatherless. All my
amen.
behavior is fatherless.
I get that,
Amen.
believe me. Um, no, but
Amen.
no, definitely. I mean, for that, I'd watching your content, and the one time I have met you in real life, I'd say you are a very wholesome person. So I think it's a good thing that you don't get any of that like
Oh, I'd cry.
grief.
I'd break
Yeah,
down.
no,
I'm that strong.
no, I was gutting myself laughing, but because like, so I'd met Conzo while I was at TwitchCon, but it was after TwitchCon had finished. Him and another
Is,
content creator, Chance a cosplay, were
so,
sitting
so
having
is,
something to eat.
sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
Is this when you were fangirling?
yes, wee bit. Shut up, right? No, they were sitting having something to eat, and I'd noticed them and I wanted a photo, and I went over and I asked for a photo, and Conzo had actually followed me back on Instagram after that and sent me a message saying, sorry, I have no concept of personal space, because he came in and gave me a hug for that, which was, I loved that. That was great.
I think I also started out the thing like, oh yeah, I'll hold the camera. Like I was gonna
Yeah,
take the
that
photo
was
for
it,
you
yeah.
guys.
But no, I meant like with both of yous. It's still, don't get me wrong. I knew yous were at TwitchCon while I was there. I keep up to date with your content, so I was hoping to run into yous. But like I
Really?
kind shut up. I kind of gave up on it, and then we were walking. We went to a bar, and then we'd walked over. No, tell a lie. We'd went to the red light district, just take a walk down it and see it. Like, because we were only there for the 2 days, and I took my wee brother for his 19th birthday. And we're like, right, well, it's a site we've got to go and see. So we walked down that, and then we just continued walking, and that's when we walked past Hughes, because the red light district's only a 5 minute walk for there. From that.
Was there a hand? Was there a hand that popped up behind you?
Oh, that would be the brother whose 19th birthday
Oh my
is.
god, scared the fucking shit out of me. I
Yeah.
was like, what in the Conjuring is happening here?
Yeah, he's just.
So when you say you took your brother down the red light district, obviously on his birthday, 9th, you just kind of went window shopping, or?
No, it's just there's sites that you've got to go and see, and walking down the red light district, it's one thing that Amsterdam's very big for, like it's very very famous for. So it's a site that you want to go and see, like what the atmosphere is actually like, But it's not at all what I was expecting it to be. Like when you hear red light district, you fully expect to just to be this street, lots of red lights everywhere, like frilled fucking curtains in the windows. But it wasn't at all. It was a giant, lovely street, and I just
My
wasn't.
favorite thing my favorite thing about the red light district is that if you ever see like a group of men and their facados like, yeah, we're gonna go get some bitches, blah blah blah, and then they enter the red light district and you can kind of see their personalities change to more quiet demeanor because they're not used to people flaunting their sexuality in front of them or even
Yeah.
like wanting them, like being the more of the, yeah, come here, we can have sex, like if you have money, this is how this works, and suddenly they get really shy, like, no, I can never. It makes me think like people only want, what they have to chase. And once they don't have to get it or try to swindle it out of somebody, they get really like, I don't know how to interact in this situation.
Yeah, it. I get what you mean by that. It's the bravado sort of comes out in people before they go for it, and then as soon as they do go for it, they just the entire demeanor just changes. And I think that's a good thing for like. I think that's became a big thing with things like OnlyFans and that as well. Is because at first you were forever seeing like the creeps come out with it, but then see, like I've got content creator friends that do OnlyFans, and whenever I've discussed it with them, they've said that it's first it started out like that for them, but then people turned a lot more respectful and like just what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm going to just stick with respectful.
Yeah, they start to mind their P's and Q's once they
Yeah.
realize like they do not have any control here. The content creator controls who accesses their content, where the content, what they post, and how they interact with people. Like you have no say here. If you do something, they're going to put you on blast or they're going to block you. That's about it. I've actually helped people kind of understand how to get like more viral videos when they're feminine presenting people making videos. I let them know that like, and this is kind of a sad reality of it all, if you give people something they think that you did not mean to give them, something they think that they took without you presenting it, then they will, one, save the video, they will pause, they'll try to see it again, they will comment like they've won something. My friend Skitty Kitty did this, and she's mastered this kind of thing, where she wore nude color underwear and a short skirt, and she kind of leaned over something, and everyone's like, oh, we saw it. Like, you could see it if you pay money, like, there you go.
Yeah.
But they were freaking out because they think they got something that she was not willing to give. And I think that's a lot how we kind of been taught to interact with people when it comes to sexuality. You're looking to get something from somebody, and they do not know how to handle it when someone's like, yeah, I'll give this to you with the red light district. It becomes it messes up the dynamic.
Yeah. No,
I
definitely.
feel like you get that from experience, obviously. not from that experience, but obviously being in Thailand, Thailand's very similar where, like you go around in the daytime and it's just like casual bars and things like that. And like, I remember the first time being in Thailand and we were sat there in a normal bar, first time, like the football on in the background. I think it was like the FA Cup final, so I'm like watching away. Half time comes on, music pops up, and all these girls come out of nowhere on the bar and start dancing and stuff. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then I thought, oh, half time will go, and then it'll be like football's back on, but it's not. It's like this is the show now. You can
Mm.
they're in your face, you know what I mean? Oh, pay for me, I'll come with you, I'll do this and I'll do that, and you're like,
Yeah,
what? Like,
we've never been shown how to interact with someone else pursuing us because we're told as men we are the pursuers. We must get it's a conquest for
Mm.
us to conquer kind of thing.
No.
And when some like I felt it too. I was working at a club and these three older ladies came up and they were, I was cornered. They're touching me and I was like, I don't know what to do. And like I just turtled up. It's not a situation that we're usually in.
Yeah.
So it does cause the sign of, uh, just like this whoa feeling. And I
Mm.
think we have to go through that as well to understand the pressure that we can put when we are too forward or aggressive when
Yeah.
coming on to people. Us entering a conversation can feel like that to people.
Mm.
We, at that nervousness you feel. And so that's why I've actually started entering conversations with people like, hello, I'm here to flirt with you. Is that okay? I give them the out really quick. If this isn't okay, then just say no. It's like, okay, thank you very much, and then I'll leave. And
That's
it's really it's changed everything. To tell you the truth, it's been the best approach.
oh right. Well, I'm gonna have to give that a bash then because my approach is terrible. I don't know how to talk to people. So,
Yeah, it's
um,
just I think it shows that one, you care about consent enough so that you've asked for their consent right away. Two, you are very direct in what you're pursuing. You're not playing around. You're not trying to do these stupid mind games. And three, it gives them the control of the conversation.
yeah.
You now say no. That's the answer I was looking for, a yes or a no or this or that. And then that just it feels better in my opinion.
Mm.
I feel like it shows a lot of confidence, you know what I mean? For you to walk over to someone and be like, I'm here to flirt with you, you know what I mean? Some girls really enjoy someone who is confident in that, and I feel that can also go in potentially a good way than obviously going over drunk, trying to chat all this nonsense, and yeah, you don't know where
Uh,
you stand. Where,
yeah,
like I say, if you're up straightforward, you know where you stand.
Yeah, especially because a lot of people have really negative experiences when it's at the club of them being stuck in a conversation with someone who, one, is overpowering and is intimidating, them slightly trying to say no, them trying to step away, making excuses, to them being argued with that excuse, to them saying no, to that being argued with. And I think it's a very traumatic event, and it's a traumatic event that we just expect them to go over and over and over again every time they go out. And we're like, this is the norm. So I'd like to change it to where we no longer trap people in conversations and we give our intentions really quickly. That way
Mm.
it's not so weird.
Yeah, well, I feel that we are on the right track for it anyway. Because I feel like with like things like OnlyFans, TikTok, and all that, people are becoming a lot more open and forward towards each other because like COVID sort of drove us into doing that with social media. It's people are used to be very scared to get on camera and that, but then it was the only form of social interaction we have had over the past couple of years, and then it has sort of developed from there onwards. But no, I get what you mean about the being respectful part and a lot more confident towards people like in real life. It's
Yeah, I think TikTok has done a beautiful thing of like giving people a voice to really speak of their experience and that to be amplified to a million people. There's
mm,
not many other social media aspects out there that someone can talk about something that's happened to them and it could be seen by a million people. Instagram, no, you post a photo, your friends see it. Facebook, if it goes viral, that's a bunch of boomers. You don't want it. Like, I think this is the best way for us to share our experiences and kind of empathize with each other. And there's two options you can take. You can take that as an insult towards yourself when someone speaks of their experience, or you can try to see it through their lens. And I think people who look like me will sometimes not understand that the world can look a bit different.
mm,
They're like, what do you mean? Just say no, and everyone respects you when you say no. Like, no, that's not everyone's experience. You know what I mean?
mm, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to move into a few wee questions here.
So, we're going to fire away a few questions, if that's all right, Conzo. So, first one is, what made you start out on social media?
Ooh, that's a good one. I was the vice chairman of a horse rehabilitation center, and they were very small. They were mismanaging their funds. So when I got to the position of vice chairman, they were losing about 1,500 per month. And when that happened, I was in university. I was the president of Muay Thai. I was on the sports committee. I was working 2 jobs. There wasn't a lot of time for me to really invest in the grants. Were going to take too long. I didn't have a lot of time. And so I said, I have an ass. And I said, I'll put that on the internet. I have no moral qualms against that. But to do that, you do need a social media presence. OnlyFans does not market it for you. So yeah, I did it to kind of save this charity that I was in. And I was able to get them the money they needed eventually. But unfortunately, I had to resign due to moral issues.
All right. But well,
Ah.
I think I'm not gonna lie. I think that is one of the best reasons I've ever heard for being on social media.
It's one of those things that's
But
like if you have something that you are morally responsible for, and to fix it, you have to do something that you don't see as morally a bad thing, then to not do it is the immoral thing. And I
yeah,
think that's how I got started in sex work, and I didn't even question it. I was like, yeah, this is the thing to do.
fair enough. Fair enough. Like, but now you make me feel bad about why I started. I just started because I was bored in the house.
Yeah, why aren't you saving people? Come on,
Oh
use your
no!
power.
You know what? I really should. I've been looking into for the longest time. I've been looking into doing like I've never done much charity work, but I've been looking into doing like white collar boxing with in Glasgow and that, and doing things like that for like cancer research, things like that. But I've just never found the time, and it's something I've been looking into for ages, and I'm dying to start. Like I watched the boxing the other night, the Joshua fight, and I was steaming drunk, walking home, and I just found myself signing up to white collar boxing. I was like, well, you know what, drunk's the time to do it. That's when I'm at my most confident somehow.
Do you know you don't need to make
You know what?
you don't need to make any big gestures or anything like that. Just being yourself and speaking openly and trying to be a good role model for these young men is the best thing you can do with your social media platform, because there's a lot of people out there who are trying to lead them in not the best. What the fuck are you doing, Cat? Not the best the best situation.
You know what? When you talk about white collar boxing, I literally know a lie. Obviously, trained all the way through it, signed up, and literally, no word of a lie. I was due my weigh in. So, what you do white collar boxing,
Yeah.
you weigh in on the Thursday, you fight on the Saturday. So, when you go and weigh in on Thursday, you find out you're fighting anything else. Literally, it was that day, March the 23rd, when lockdown hit. It was literally the day or the day before. It was the day after lockdown hit. Day after lockdown hit, I was meant to find out who I was fighting, weigh in, and I was meant to fight that Saturday. I bought ringside tickets. I raised quite a lot of money, and even to this day, they're still messaging me going, "When can we get you in? Like, obviously, when can we register? Is anywhere near you locally?" Because I said, obviously, I moved away. They're like, "Anywhere near you locally that you can do it." So I'm definitely gonna get back into it, I think, and do it because, like I say, I sold tickets, I raised money, so I need to kind of do
Yeah.
it. But yeah, that's something I
No,
did, but I was gutted.
yeah.
6 weeks of training, coming up to that, and then all of a sudden lockdown, done.
Yeah. No, I've I've forever seen people on TikTok do stuff for charities and all that. A friend of mine, her name's Wholesome Official. She was our last guest on. She was actually with me when I met you. She is just cut her hair and gave it for charity and sold it off to. I can't remember the name of the charity, but it's to make for wigs with children with cancer and all that. And she's not cut her hair since like 2014.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot of hair, but like she was sitting there going on about it to me. And I'm sitting there just like, well, there's one charity thing I definitely can't do. What am I going to do? Cut off my chest hair?
I was about you're like, I could use some hair, please. A little bit of a shake over.
Yeah. Well, we'll
I was
cut.
very funny about that. I was thinking about doing the old Brave the Shave.
The
You know what
what?
I mean? Where they literally, it's like Brave the Shave or something it's called. It's like you raise money for charity, and it would be the case of me looking like you, mate. shaving my whole hair off.
Mm.
My mum was egging me on to do it, and I'm like, I'm gonna think about this. Like, this is my pride and joy, little ginger locks. But
Aye.
I think I might have to do it.
Oh,
If I
definitely.
wasn't 30, I'd join you, but this is my last couple of years with hair. Let me have it.
Dude, I've been bald since I was 18.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
a long
Well,
time.
no, the thing. So don't get me wrong. My hair's very thin. I shave my head, just because if I don't, I end up looking like Count Dracula, like with a big.
Smart.
Yeah. Nah. So
Do you
I
have,
just.
do you have like a massive receding hairline?
Oh, I've got a huge receding hairline, Lewis. If you'd seen me, like 2 years before I met you, my God, it would be a different story. But it's still my hair started to thin because I dyed it a lot. Like I know my name's too baldy for cosplay, but I used to cosplay quite a lot. Like I done the Joker, so I dyed my whole hair green, and like it's on my Instagram and that. But it's like the whole head of hair's green. I've had it blonde, blue, and I've dyed it that much that it's just real like burnt and dyed. So it's like no, time to take it all off. But then cosplaying now, hate wearing wigs. It's too itchy. But so Conzo, we touched a wee bit there on why you started out, but why is it you think people enjoy your content?
Oh fuck, I have no idea. I ask myself that question every day. I'm pretty sure they don't. It's just like a big joke on me. Like everyone's just like, haha, pranks. At some point, but I've yet to figure it out. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. For me, as I said, I think you're very wholesome with what you do. You put out your views. You're just a real person that's putting herself out there, and I think that's what people actually do enjoy, because you don't get much of that on TikTok. Like you do get some people that are forward and give out like their actual lives, what they're doing with themselves and that. But then you've got like pricks like me
Some
that
people
dress
just
up.
walk around with t-shirts on red.
Yeah, that's it. But fair enough.
I think what people usually say is that I feel relatable, or that I think the main thing is that I'm not afraid to be in a bad place, or I'm not afraid to speak on what's happened to me. Like as a child, I was, sexually abused for many years of my life, and people relate to that. They've gone through the similar kinds of trauma.
Mm,
I deal with body images to where I struggle with an eating disorder. Like this is things that people they relate to in their lives. And I think with social media being this big ball of positivity all the time, it's really hard to feel like you're doing something right, because look how amazing everyone's doing, look how much fun they're doing, look how successful they are. Why am I so fucked up? And sometimes it's good to see people where you're like, oh, this person's doing well. Oh wait, they're also fucked up. And it's like it's nice to relate. So I think that might be what people like, is that I'm me, and no matter what sense you see me. Um, and so it just feels more human, I guess.
yeah, you're the same person on camera as you are off.
I'm weirder off camera, to tell you the truth.
Fair enough,
I
Lou.
like that, you know what I mean? And like you say, a lot of people, some people are like are shy to, or nervous, or like to obviously talk about what's happened in their past, or to talk about what's going on in their life right now. Like you get scared to mention anything just in case you feel like no one else is going through the same, or no one else will believe you, or whatever it is. I feel like with TikTok, mainly TikTok as well, because you can just do short, small clips. I feel like that has made a lot of people talk more about what's going on, because there's so many people on there that is telling their own story and they can relate to, and I just feel like it's literally changed the way a lot of people are,
Mm.
just through people telling their story, telling their side, and you're not alone. You know what I mean? There is multiple people out there going through the exact same thing, and people will talk about it.
And I think that's what's so important about people talking about it, especially people who are seen as like this hyper masculine. I'm buff with tattoos, like, and I speak about this hurt that I feel. That will allow someone who is maybe feeling that they can't speak about it because they would feel like less of a man to be like, no, wait, I can do that. Like they see me paint my nails, they're like, oh wait, maybe I can express myself. Maybe a man doesn't have to be this rigid, just the only emotion you can show is anger, and you cannot ever be vulnerable, because that is what caused to such a high rate of male suicide, that and the possession of firearms. But we'll go into that. And So we need to lead by example, to be like, if I want you to be vulnerable as a man and I want you to speak to someone professionally, I need you to speak to your friends, I need you to be loving and kind, and I need you to be open as a whole ass human, not just two emotions and the ability to work a job. That's not who you are as a person. Then we must show it, we must be it, and it's hard sometimes, but it's important.
So
Um,
obviously we've talked about people kind of what got you into social media, like why do people kind of you think people kind of follow your content. But now I want to talk about your most viral video.
Oh, oh
What is
yeah.
your most viral video?
Oh, this one, I think it's at 6 million views. So I'll regularly get a video that hits like a million, 2 million views. But this video had about 6.1. And it was a build on of one video that I made that said sleeping with French people, like when you sleep with French people, they just take the piss the entire time. Like you're there sweating, doing your best, and they're just in there pretending they're on a roller coaster, like wee. And the build off to that. And the build off to that is that I'm dating a French person. She's married. She's in an open relationship, and that's where I got the idea for the joke. But she grabs me by the collar and she marches me in front of the mirror and she's yelling at me in French. I'm learning French, and so we're communicating in French. And then she's like, tell them, you fucking liar!" And I was like, "French people don't pretend they're on a roller coaster when they have sex." And then the next scene is she's sitting there and she's still speaking in French, and what she's saying is, why are you lying to everyone? Everyone knows you're a virgin." And I just said, "That's mean." And that got about 6 million views before I took it down. When a video gets a lot of views, take it down. That's my best advice.
Christ. All right, fair enough. I don't even think I've. I think my mum.
Whee!
Oh, Jesus.
Whee! Whee!
Oh, that's amazing. I don't actually think any of my videos have reached over 5,000 views. Like TikTok's not a big. I don't use TikTok that much. I used to like do some cosplay stuff on it, like, but I fell away from it because I've no time, and I usually use it to promote my Twitch now. But like,
When it comes to videos, make this the least amount of effort you can, the stupidest thing you can think of. Make it quick, put it out, and then don't think about it. And before you know, that video will have 100,000 views. It's never the ones that you put in all this effort and you're like, I hope this goes big. It's always the one you're just like, hey, I bought matching sweatshirts for me and this person. Here they are. They have dinosaurs. And then that is the video that'll hit 1 million views.
oh, fair. Well, that's some
It's
south.
so true. Like you can spend hours or like planning a video and working it all out and going, right, I need to be here and I'll do this and I'll do that and do that. And then it'll literally flop. But you could literally go, oh, quick, yeah, we'll film that. Done. Yeah, put it up. 10 seconds, done. It's on there. It can hit 1,000. It can hit 1 million. It can hit 2 million.
We agree that 10 seconds is a
remember-
long time, right? Like, that's a long time, guys?
Yeah.
10 seconds?
Yes.
I need you on camera saying yes.
Oh,
So
definitely.
I literally, no would lie, my mate's most viral video, it had like 15 million views. We went to Weatherspoons. It was England were in
Weatherspoons.
the Euros. We went to Weatherspoons just before, and he was, oh, jump in this TikTok with me. And I'm like, yeah, no problem at all. And we literally filmed this TikTok within like seconds. And it was literally something like, it was like something along, I know an owl with a small penis or something like that. And I turned around and was like,
I've seen
"Boom."
this video.
And then
I've seen this video.
And I literally just laughed and stared at him. I'm like, fuck's sake. Like, that's all it was. Literally, first time it took seconds to make 15 million
Yeah,
views.
it's because I think the smaller amount of time with TikTok videos, it's the least amount of time it's easier to get more views of it because of people going through the For You page. They will stop, take a wee peek, and then go through. Whereas if it's a longer video, they've got to take that time to actually get into what their videos are actually about. So I think with smaller videos, then it's definitely a better shout for views.
The only way to make a video that's longer is if it's a controversial opinion or something that people, and I mean, there's a lot of people out there that will rage farm views, so they'll say something really outlandish, and people will react negatively, of course, because it's a stupid fucking. Just think anything that's ever come out of Andrew Tate's mouth. It's like, this is fucking dumb, and then people will react to it, and people will duet and stitch to be like, hey, this is dumb, and that will bring your fan base who thinks that's not dumb. The very few people that think that's not dumb will see that if it has a very wide net. So this thing will get 1 million views. It'll have like 500 likes, but you just got 500 new followers. You know, sure, a lot of hate, but 500 new followers. And you do that over and over, and that's how these people build these platforms through rage farming.
Yeah. Fair enough. What is rage farming, if you don't mind me asking?
It's just say I come here and I say something super misogynistic, something really sexist. I think there's one person right now who's doing it very well, who's saying, I don't let my wife have boundaries because as the man, I decide what boundaries are. That's her telling me what to do. And there's a lot of people who are enraged by this. So they're commenting, sure, they're not liking, but they're duetting, they're stitching. And eventually you'll find a little 12-year-old who's not showered like all week, and he feels bad because 12-year-olds are angry, and he's like, yeah, I wouldn't let my wife have an opinion either. So yes, you're finding your fan base of little 12 to 14-year-olds, but to do that you need a large net, and also you need to ask yourself, why do I want to hang out with 14-year-olds? I think that's a question we should ask them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, fair enough.
I feel like obviously on that topic as well, when you say about obviously rage things are, I feel now there's a lot of people that are going viral for drama. If you're causing drama, everyone wants to know about it. Everyone will follow you. Everyone will jump on your live, whatever it is, and you get this massive audience that actually don't like you as an individual, that just love watching drama, so they'll follow you just for the sake of drama.
Yeah, it's like I said.
Yeah,
It's like
oh, sorry, go ahead.
it's like I said in one of the recordings we done last week. It's people are turning TikTok into a soap opera. They just want to watch all this drama unfold, and it's like, don't get me wrong, you get people that make this drama but do it as a storyline kind of thing. Like it's an agreed beef just for views and comments and things like that. But I hate that for TikTok. I just it drives me insane. I would personally rather watch someone that's talk about their real life things that's going on in their real life, their actual opinions on things, rather than just an augmented like reality beef. It's a load of bullshit, if you ask me.
It's what is this? It's emotionally farming people to engage, and that engagement will drive viewership. The more people that engage, the more For You pages it gets on, and the more that you're seen. It's just, I don't think the emotional toll would ever be worth it. I delete a video as soon as it gets popular, unless it's like a really important message, because to have a video that goes really viral or into the millions, it starts to show up on the people you do not want to interact with. Sure, sometimes they should see your message, but at the same time, the emotional toll of them interacting with you is not worth it. I hate it. I can't do it.
No, definitely not.
It's when you start getting a lot of negativity and then you get people trying to message you. But thing is, though, as soon as you hit that level, and a lot of people say, do you know what? Like, as soon as you start getting hate, you're being successful or whatever it may be. I agree with that to a certain extent. But I also believe sometimes that that kind of negativity can put a down on it. You know what I mean? People see it in two ways. People see it as, yes, I'm being successful to a certain extent, but then sometimes people just go above boundaries and then it starts being more negative and you're like, maybe actually it's not worth the hype.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't have the cognitive ability to be like, is this real engagement, or am I just being me? Because the comments I hate, I love someone to be like, hey, this is my view on this, and this is why I think you're wrong. But what it turns out to be is like someone's like, haha, L, loser, clown face, kill yourself. And I'm just like, you're not engaging. This is the only way you know how to engage, and this is how you think that you're winning this argument. It's like, no, you're just kind of being your normal idiot self. but to get that
Yeah.
1,000 times, one of my videos I think has like 13,000 comments, and like 98% of them are amazing, supportive, loving people agreeing with me. But that 2%, to see that over and over and over again, you're just like, this is an emotional toll. I think the best part is, though, or not the best part, but the reality we do have to face is that as a man, I do not. No one has ever threatened to sexually assault me. No one has ever like tried to dox me, to find out where I live, to try to control what I say with fear. Mostly because I'm usually bigger than them, and that's the only thing they respect. But I've seen my very loving, caring, kind, successful, feminine presenting friends, or even just non-binary, or anyone that's outside of what they perceive to be what should be, they will go out of their way. Just like that, the woman who was a therapist, the black woman who said pretty much the same thing I said in one of my videos, and she lost her job because people were doxing her. They're calling her work for what?
Yeah, that's phone taking people's personal views for their social media and all that, and then getting in contact and ruining their actual lives it does happen all across the world. It's a big thing that does happen, and I hope to God that something happens where like it stops that. I don't know how in the world they're going to stop it, but hopefully they
I obviously
come up with
touched on
some
that
sort of plan.
without going into too much detail on it. Obviously, a massive one across the TikTok platform was obviously the Smithy family. You know what I mean? That they went through hell from making videos, having a laugh, having fun, and then people, jealousy or for whatever reason it was, kind of started find out where they were living, attacking the family, setting the car on fire,
Yeah, they
etc.,
said
etc.
they
It was just
like they was it not their house that they set on fire at a point?
The Smithy
so no,
family?
they set their car on
Oh,
fire. So they
yeah.
set
So
their
they
car on fire, and then that exploded and caught fire to the house.
Yeah. So the Smithy family's it's a family-based TikTok account. It's just going through their family, having a bit of laugh with their kids and all that. But it's they set their car on fire. This was the beginning of last year, if I'm right.
It
Uh,
wasn't. No, beginning this year.
was it the beginning of this year? Christ, was it that close? I didn't
I
think
think
it
it was like
was.
this year.
Um,
Pretty sure.
yeah, but honestly, the because I remember seeing it all over TikTok, just because they had friends and family and people giving them donations through TikTok and things like that, just sort of help them back out. But that, I guess, what can be said is with all that controversy as well, it sort of brings out the more genuine side of TikTok as well, where you get that bunch of caring people. It shows you there is good in the world, at least, rather than just these assholes that will try and ruin your lives because, as you say, Lewis, like jealousy or things like that. People that just vile people, really. But yeah, so we've touched on like TikTok a bit there, and like your views on it. Do you have like a favourite TikToker, streamer, anything like that, Conzo?
Ooh, a favorite TikToker. Oh yeah, it's actually a mutual of mine. Her name's Reb. She's a lawyer, I think. She is a lawyer. Let me try to get her actual her handle here. So it's Reb Mezel, so Rebmasel. And let me tell you, the day I became friends with her, I was screaming. But I absolutely love her. She is funny as a motherfucker. She reads people to filth, and just she does the whole court documents. Like she reads the thing with the sunglasses on, and they're like transcripts from the court. And those usually go pretty viral, but like all her videos, she's such a joy to see. And she's also advocating for more women to join the legal field, because it's a huge accomplishment, and I'm super proud of her. I've never met her in my entire life. I have some parasocial relationships. I see her successes as my successes. I'm like, you go, gal. We go, gal. But yeah, she's definitely my favorite TikToker.
Oh, fair enough. I think I know who you're talking about. I think I've seen some of her stuff.
I'm gonna show you one of her videos just to see. Like, I think she probably has a pinned one here.
likes work. So 15. You're saying I should let
Yeah,
you
I've seen that.
Yep. I absolutely love her.
Yeah, no, definitely. She puts out some great
I've
content.
actually not seen her, so I'll be definitely checking out
You're in
after
for a
this.
treat.
Oh, definitely. That's the
I
thing.
will look forward to it.
Yeah, no, that's
I
the
will
thing
look
as well.
forward to
Like, there's so much content out there now with TikTok and all that. Everyone has their own like separate wee niches and like what they like, what they don't like, and all that. But I think that's a good thing that they speak about as well. Is it's just people are interested in things they are. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with words. I don't English well. No,
The Scottish well either.
shut up. um, People have their own likes, dislikes, but with TikTok, it's a case of your like your for you page. My for you page is literally all over the place. Like, I mainly love cosplay content, real life content, comedy stuff. But then I will see a lot of uh, like you were saying there, the legal side of doing things, try to bring people, like show people the aspects of certain careers and all that don't have as like a big like advocate for it. Like,
Yeah, I think what you're saying is absolutely correct. TikTok is this amazing place to experience different parts of life that you wouldn't normally
yes,
experience. Like, I would not learn about constitutional law on my normal day, but I can pick up tidbits here. I wouldn't learn about woodworking, but I can pick up tidbits here. I couldn't learn about emotional intelligence through someone that's had to face discrimination their entire life and has to, not control, but experience and regulate their emotions a little bit better than I've ever had to. And it is a learning pot, but I do think TikTok, like any kind of AI, has a bias that tries to push people down this alt-right white supremacy rabbit hole. And I've seen it on my own feed. Like, my views, you can easily tell what my views are. They're not conservative. Um, and yet I still get Andrew Tate videos. I still get these misogynist men, or I still get um, these really weird, like almost Ben Shapiro-esque people. And no matter how many times I'm like, I'm not interested. Like, no, actually, you should be interested by who you are. And it's just, I think it's, from liking anime videos, it's from liking cosplay, it's from, maybe listening to that stupid story from Reddit with that stupid running man underneath it. Like, we all get sucked into those videos. And TikTok's like, oh, so you like that? How about you learn to be racist? Like, what? What is going on?
yeah, no, it's my for you page right now for some reason is just constantly filled with Dar Man, like his videos. Like, it's like situational. So it's literally like they put them on YouTube, they put them on TikTok. You get people putting them onto TikTok in like five separate parts, but it's videos that go against racism, sexism, sectarianism, like all these, and they can be very hard hitting. Like, there's one where this. It's a black man. He goes into the bank. He's in like gym wear because he's just came for the gym, and he sits down with one of the bank tellers, and she gets security called in because she thinks she's cashing in a fake check for this big company who's the biggest client. Then it turns out that he's the CEO of the client. She ends up getting
Are you talking
fired.
about those really bad acting? Like,
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible acting, but terrible acting. But I love them. It's because they always start, like, whenever they go into the story of like their background and all that. They always start out with the words "you see," and it's fucking brilliant. I love them. Like,
You should never fired me for taking the gay customers at the baker. Now I'm buying the shop that you used to have. Like, I've seen them.
Yeah,
I know
no,
exactly what you mean.
I love them, honestly, and I think a lot of people do love them because it is as bad acting as it is. It does put across a better message of, treat everyone equally.
It's nice to see a situation that plays out as we would hope it would.
Yeah,
The world is not always very fair. So sometimes, even if it is through bad acting, it's nice to get a win.
no,
I think
definitely.
that's something we don't realize through these social medias. I don't believe that through our emotional capacities, we should see the worst moment of someone's life, followed by extreme racism, sexism, a haha moment, followed by someone losing their job, followed by someone's great successes, and a rapidly cycle through this range of emotion in 15 seconds as we're swiping, I think it's so easy to get confused because our emotions are connected. There's no separate compartments for a lot of different things. They bleed into one. So I've said that, your insecurities and your anxiety can sometimes express itself as rage. So how many other things bleed together and how many emotions are you feeling in this short span? I don't think it's the most healthy thing.
Mm, no, definitely not.
I agree. To be fair, I agree. You know what I mean? And we've discussed this before, where actually, while you are swiping through your For You page, and like you say, you are going through the emotions of, like a lot for me now is obviously Andrew Tate, and then it's gone on to a podcast talking about. I literally scrolled through TikTok today for the first time in ages, and it was like Andrew Tate saying his final message, and then it was like podcasts where they've got El Brook on talking about Danny D's penis, and then you're scrolling through that, and then they're talking something about love, and then you flick through it, and it's some comedy stuff, and like I say, while you're flicking through them and you're going through these mixed emotions, you just keep scrolling through because you're like, I'm intrigued to what's next. So I'm like, flick, and before I know it, I'm half an hour, 40 minutes in of just scrolling through TikTok, hitting every emotion I've got because I'm just like, what's
It's
going on?
exhausting. It's exhausting, and I
Mm,
It
think
is.
people do need to limit their social media times. Like, as great as it is to have this level of connectivity, that with that comes the emotional burden of everyone. There's no way to distance yourself, through seeing this person crying to this, that, and just like you feel that. If you are a human, you have empathy. You know what these emotions feel like, and you go through it. Now I've turned social media from social media into a tool for marketing because that's what I need to do for my job. But there are some days that I am stuck in the loop of being sucked in. I'm closing an app to open an app to close an app to open an app to close an app. I am in this cycle. I am sucked into it. And it's not a healthy way to exist. Who decided this is how we should be for the rest of our lives? It's a bad decision.
mm, definitely.
I
Um,
agree, and you find I think no matter who you speak to on this, like especially with TikTok, I feel everyone gets sucked in. Every person that has the TikTok app gets sucked in.
oh,
It is literally that's it, and that's social media as a whole. It sucks
My
you in if it's YouTube, if it's been Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Everyone gets stuck like sucked into some kind of app.
my biggest fear though is the effect this is having on kids. I have a few friends who are teachers who have had to. They are now putting into curriculum how to combat misogyny and from 12 to 16-year-olds because they're also on the same platforms we are, but they
mm,
are hyper juiced on hormones and weird social situations and hierarchies and aggression and trying to figure out where they fit in life. And then you have some person being like, "Oh yeah, if you want to be have all the women, you need to control them." That's something that they're going to internalize and then make their entire fucking personality. So as unhealthy it is for us as adults who've had experiences to base this off, this is their whole experience. This is their whole teaching. No one teaches you how to be in a relationship. No one teaches you how to interact with people. It's geometry, it's science, it's math, but not boundaries and consent and emotional languages and just how to be good. Um, but then that's where they get their teachers from, and I think it's going to lead to a lot of violence in the future.
mm,
I feel like obviously you get a lot, and I hear it more and more every day. Where it's like, oh yeah, like me working in a hotel that I work in, I get all different kind of age groups coming in, and kind of we talk about life, we talk about different things going on, but like some of my team like that work there were like, oh yeah, like I got home last night and my kids are on iPads or my kids are on the phone or oh, do you know what? If kids are doing my head, and I just give them a phone and just give them this to play on, that to play on. Back when I was younger, my mum would be like, get out of the house, go and play in the street, go play football, go do something. It wasn't, here's a PlayStation, or here's your phone, or here's a tablet, or here's wherever. It was, get out the house.
yeah.
Get out the
I
house, go and socialise.
Yeah, I think it's because families had a little bit more time to be with their kids now, with both parents working full time and the exhaustion that brings with that. If you have a screaming kid, as soon as you get home, it's going to be very much like, how do I get you to comply rather than what is the best for you? Because they're existing day to day. In the US, they have a huge problem with childcare not being free. and it is incredibly expensive. And so sometimes the iPad is the only childcare that these people can't afford. And we'll see the consequences of it. But I try not to blame the parents because I could not do it. I
Mm,
fucking could not. Are you joking me?
no, definitely not. Like so I grew up. It was me, my brother, my sister, my mum. Okay, and my s- my stepdad, he only lives around the corner, but my mum and my dad both work full time. I went to college and that, so a lot of the time growing up, it was a case of me looking after my brother and sister, making sure they're fed, making sure they're going to school on time, making their breakfast and all that. And it's you don't until you actually look after kids, you don't realise how hard it can be. I remember my mum coming home from work and there just being a big argument between the three of us because I've told them to do something, they won't go do it, and then I'm only their brother, I've not really got that authority to then push them into doing it. Christ, honest, I used to give my mum such a hard time, and then when you actually start to realise how hard of a job she is doing, it sort of makes you look at things a lot differently.
Yeah, I mean, if you had an iPad back then, you would have given them an iPad.
Oh my
Um,
god, you have no idea. Christ, I nearly
yeah.
whipped out my old Nintendo 64 to give my brother. No,
Yo,
def-
I literally love just having my nieces for a few hours, filling them up on sweets and chocolate, and taking them out and then handing them back. I'm like, there you go. I've had my fun. There you go.
yeah,
You've had a good
you've
day.
had your fun,
You
but
deal
you've
with the
gave them
rest of
back to
it.
you've gave them back to their parents full of sugar. It's-
I honestly believe it does take a village to raise a kid. The old idea of a 2 unit, or I don't know, there was a word for it at some point, a class something, having a mom and a dad, or dad and dad, or mom and mom, it doesn't work anymore,
the nuclear
because
family.
the nuclear family, yeah, or any variation of the nuclear family where it's just two people, it doesn't work anymore. I really do believe that you need to. If I was to raise a kid, it would be in a very communal setting. Um, that way, the 2 hours you have to really engage and help and explore, what does that kid want to do? Do you want to go do this? You want to do this? What can we learn? Is divided between 5, 6 people, then that's an entire day taken up, and then they're asleep.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So we've asked you a few questions about TikTok and all that, but through social media and through social media in your life, so over the past few years going through it, like through COVID, has COVID affected your life in any way regarding like social media or that? Do you feel it's helped you put out more? Like, what's your views on social media and COVID's going like effect on each other?
Yeah, so I started social media during COVID, so I've not really known how to do it outside of that. I was in my last year of uni, so I was working on my dissertation. So my videos were mostly me sitting there, look in front of me, be like, "Hey, da 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 da," post video, or me do a stupid video here, a stupid video there. And my life has been consistently the same. My work for the charity right now is very much foundation building, so it's mostly policy writing. It's reaching out. I'm actually working on this really amazing project where we're going to be building communal gardens that can travel for traveling people. I don't want to say the word because I'm not too sure if it's a slur. I've just learned about all this. Usually they live in the caravans and they travel from place to place. Um, I'm just going
Did,
to say the
did,
word. You
did,
tell me if it's
does it begin with a G?
yeah, is that a slur?
So gypsy, no, it's not. It's not I wouldn't say it was a slur in any way. It's like Tyson Fury. You call him the Gypsy King. So
Okay.
gypsies, I don't believe gypsy is a slur. I will,
Thank God.
but believe it or not, I will look it up
Yeah.
after this, and if it is, I will edit it out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, I was just at a community breakfast with a bunch of different charities, and there was a charity that worked with gypsy travelers. And so what we're going to do for them is we're going to build them communal gardens that can travel with the community, so they can have a better sense of home, and relieving food poverty, and just kind of like giving a better sense of community. So a lot of that right now is writing policies and getting everything set up. So a lot of my stuff is here. Nothing's changed for me the last 3 years. I'm incredibly isolated, incredibly alone. I'm going crazy.
yeah, because whereabouts in America is it you're actually from, Conzo?
California.
Oh, all right, fair enough. So like
Nice.
how was COVID for you being here, like away from family and all that? Because like when COVID first hit, I was living in Spain, like away from my family and all that, and it drove me fucking mental. Like honestly, like to the point I moved away because I wasn't like I love my family, but it came to the point where all my family lives very close knit. Like my gran lives around the corner from me, but it came a point where I just needed to get away from it all, and then I was living over there just away from everybody, isolated from all my friends and all that, and it was just a case of I couldn't do it. It fucking drove me insane. So how is it for you being over here during while you were over here during COVID?
Yeah, so I left home when I was 17, and I've not really gone back. I love my family very much, but it's a very small family. It's just my mom and my brothers. And my mom worked multiple jobs as we were growing up because my father wasn't there. You have multiple. I have five brothers, so she provided, but she wasn't really there as much as people are. So I've never really had a big sense of family. So I've been here for about 6 years, and I've gone home twice, maybe. Once was for because my great grandmother was going through dementia. She didn't have a lot of time, and the second time I went home was for the funeral. That's the last time I've been. It is hard. You do ask yourself, who would you be if you had that family support, or if you had a family growing up, kind of thing. And it's hard not to question what benefit or how you'd be with all that. But fortunately, I've been training for this my entire life, so it doesn't really affect me too much. I've always been by myself, so this isn't really nothing new.
Mm. Okay, doke.
As on that being alone, has your family come over here at all, or is it kind of
No, because
no?
it is a big travel cost. That is it not?
Yeah, plus my
Yeah.
mom doesn't have a passport. My brother came out here once with his wife and his baby and stuff. So he was there for a little bit, but he's a Trump supporter, so it's always a bit awkward.
Mm.
Um, I love him to death, but at the same time, I should have murdered him when he was younger.
No,
But
I can get that thing about
Big
family.
statement.
I can get that thing about family having different views and all that. It's like, so you live in Scotland, you'll know a lot about like the sectarianism throughout Glasgow and things like that, which, to be honest with you, has died down quite a lot over the past few years. It's so most of my family are all Celtic fans, like Catholic Celtic fans and all that. I myself am a Rangers fan, so I'm forever like the arguments that me and my family get into and all that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one to look into all the sectarianism of it, but a lot of them are, and I just can't deal with that. And even at that, I've got one of my cousins is a big Rangers fan, but he's very like Protestant, Orange Lodge, like, and he's the other left side of it. Aye, and I'm the one that's forever just caught in the middle, going, just can't we all get along? Come on to fuck, like, it's.
I subscribe to the ideology of your political views is a dictation of your moral views. And so I do not accept the emotional strain of someone who's going to be bigotred, blah, 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 bigotred. You know what I mean? Bigotred? No, that's not the word. Bigoted. There we go.
I get
Yeah, I won't accept that. I'll call it out when it happens, and if this is a continuous thing, I'll try to show you the errors of your way. And if it continues, then I will cut you off. I've not spoken to my big brother in close to 5 years. He's very transphobic, very misogynistic. He projects his issues out from himself to others. And there's a lot of things that he has been slighted. He has these insecurities, but he believes his insecurities are everyone else being out to get him. So I've not had contact. I don't talk to him. I don't do anything. Family is great, but if it's not great, then what is it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's the case of where you've got to, like, for me, a lot of the time I spend my family's my friends. Like, I've got a very close knit friends group. We grew up together. We have a lot of the same views. Some of them not so much. It's everyone's got their own views. You love, but it's you know, family's thicker than blood. Is that the saying?
The blood of the water of the covenant is thicker than the blood of the womb, or the blood of the covenant is thicker than
Like
the
on the
water of the
water
womb.
of the
Something
room.
is similar to that.
That's
Yeah.
the one. That's the one. Yeah. So for the longest time, my family was my friends. Like just because I can't deal with, like, I love my family, but I cannot deal with some of the shit that comes out of their mouth. I just can't. So I try to steer away from it as much as I can. Because
Yeah.
everyone's got different views, but if life's too short to be sitting arguing about it, for me,
Yeah.
it's if you can't get them to change their mind, I'm not going to sit and listen to it.
I think there's different views, but I try to put it in like historical text. Like, as you know, my family is being transphobic. Would I accept them being racist 50 years ago or openly calling for segregation 50 years ago? This is the civil rights of our time, and if you go against these civil rights now, it's a good chance you'd go against those civil rights in the past. So I cannot pretend to be an okay person and accept this at the same time. Like, as awkward it is to be like, hey, what you're saying is transphobic or what you're saying is homophobic, um, because I think they expect people just to go along with it.
Yeah.
It's needed to even keep your own mentality of like, okay, I'm sticking to my values. The slight bit of pushback, I've stuck to my values, and that's what keeps you going.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Lewis, you want to add?
No, I just kind of agree with obviously a lot has been said. And like you say, obviously, same with me. Like obviously, family and things like that. Like I've kind of grown up with my mum, and three brothers. You know what I mean? Haven't really had any contact with my
So that's
dad.
every time I look up, Conzo's putting that cat back onto the bed.
He is in
um,
my fucking face all the time.
I never really grown up with with a father figure. Like he's kind of never really had interest or never put any effort in. But when I look back and I can sit here and say I'm one of 13 from my dad's side, it's kind of, you know what I mean. It baffles me that if you can't look after three that you've got that are one of your oldest, why have more? That's my only thing with it. You know what I mean, and stuff like that regarding family. But hell,
This
it's
this
life,
is
innit?
a yeah, this is a big point of contention, in my idea of like what men have been taught, growing up, is we have seen it as we've been told it's perfectly natural, or at least we've been shown it's perfectly natural to leave your family. There is no pushback, there's no shame in the community. You can exist as a normal human pretty much, and no one's going to hold it against you. But there's a double standard when it comes to a mother giving up a child for adoption or leaving the family. And I usually use this as an argument against the pro-life or the forced birthers, to be like a father can abort itself from the family at any time and no one bats an eye. So this isn't about the quality of life or the life itself. This is about control over the women.
No,
Um,
definitely.
and I've had that view my entire life ever since my dad left. I'm like, why did he just get to fucking leave? And why are you stuck with this now? Like, what is going
Yeah.
on? I am the burden, but I am not happy with this.
And
Yeah.
there's no repercussions. It's just like you can walk away and yeah, I'm done. I'll go and do my own thing now. And
Oh no,
like you say,
definitely.
It's
Like,
so weird to see men hold up child support like it's the biggest burden they've ever had in their entire life. You know what's a real burden? Having to care and nurture and look after a human. The support doesn't cover shit. It hinders possibilities. A kid, oh, I shouldn't say it. A child hinders possibilities, and it really restrains the movement for the mother. Yeah, a guy's like, I had to pay 90 quid this month. Fuck. Like, is this all you think that goes into it?
no, it's like, don't get me my I don't know my dad, never met him. Well, he came to the hospital when I was born, picked me up to see if I looked like him, and put me back down and walked out my life. Like, so my mum's had no contact with him since, like nothing. So my mum had absolutely no help from any of that side of his family. I don't know any of his family of that. As far as I'm aware, he's not actually in the country anymore. Like that's how far away he went to get away, like fucked off out of Scotland. But it's the good thing for me, at least, is, as I say, my family's all very close knit, so there was support there. But all I continually think is there's families there that don't have that sort of. There's mothers there that don't have that, like, familial branch to then lean on to help with things. There's so many struggling mothers and that out there that dads have fucked off and they're left high and dry. They're left with absolutely nothing. They've got to put so much work in, and it's it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, I
Still,
mean there are exceptions to, because especially in the U.S. there are over policed areas to where the fathers are brought to prisons for pretty much slave labor, and there's really no combating that now. But there are a lot of situations where the men will leave and they believe that that's just the right thing to do. And I think this is something that we're taught when it comes to the lack of empathy and how to show your emotions and like take ownership and not just do whatever you want. You
mm,
have responsibilities. To be a man is to be responsible in my eyes. It's to put, sometimes your community and others before your needs. And that's probably my most toxic view of manhood, is putting others before you.
mm.
Um, and I think especially now with the rhetoric of like, oh yeah, just do whatever you want, buy a Bugatti, fucking, do this, skip out on responsibility. And it's just not the way we should be moving forward.
No, definitely not. Um, right. So, Lewis, is there anything else you'd like to talk about on that?
No, I think regarding obviously family and things like say we spoke earlier, where actually people don't know what people have gone through and stuff like that. Like we got 3 people sat here on this chat where actually they haven't had a father figure. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
none of us have had a father figure. You know what I mean? We've all been through it where our mums have had 2 jobs, they've put food on the table, they've done this, they've done that. And to be fair, looking at it, they don't get the credit they deserve. That's the way I
no.
see it. It's as soon as that father walks out, I think that's it. I think every mum in the world who kind of takes that role should get credit.
And I also think that you guys should give yourself credit as well to see the work that they put in as well. Because my older brother, through some Facebook argument, told me that I knew that you were raised by a woman, but I didn't know that made you a bitch. Like he wasn't raised by the same mother, and I think so many men out there have the same experience as we do. Because I think out of all single parents, 86% of single parent households are by their mother.
Mm,
So with that thought process, you think that there wouldn't be any misogyny left in the fucking world.
mm,
But I think people aren't able to empathize with that because of how society and the patriarchy tells young men they should believe and should behave, and how what their values should be. When in reality, we've all seen our mothers struggle. Like, why would we not want to,
Hmm.
yeah.
fight against a system that's unjust for them?
No, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing for me growing up, without my dad and all that, was like back in school when they used and I'm talking primary school, when they used to ask you, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" My answer was, "I want to be a dad." And my biggest thing in the world is being a father, because that way I can then, what I can, one, be there for the kids, but also be there as a better role model than what's been shown before. It's that point where there's so many people in the world that don't take responsibility. It then becomes your responsibility to be that role model, and so that's why I love programs that you get like the Big Brother program, like not the TV show. I know America. I'm not sure if the UK does have it. I've seen it a few times in America where it's like struggling families. So it's you get someone coming in, take the kid out, and like just be a big brother to them, a better role model. Show them a
Well,
better.
here's the thing about social media, friend. You can be the best role model, and that can reach a huge audience.
Mm,
You can speak about how you would want to interact in the situations, or what it means to you to be a responsible adult, or maybe just some things that you wish you would have known growing up. There's nothing stopping you in this day of age of social media.
mm.
Um, and I think it would be the most amazing thing to see, especially for someone like us, growing up without a dad. I would love to see somebody speak to me like father to son. I would shed
Yeah,
fucking tears.
No, definitely.
100%. And do you know what, funny enough you say that, I've literally got a tattoo, and it's probably my favourite tattoo. And it
Unfortunately, we can't see
literally,
it.
I know, you have to get a picture of it and put it up.
Yeah.
But it literally says, "Let me be to someone else what no one was to me."
Mm.
And that for me just ring alarm bells in like that father figure that I've never had. So for me, I honestly just can't wait to have that responsibility myself, where I from experience, like, I'm going to be emotional from experience, like being there and just being that father figure I never had. You know what I mean? When you need that dad talk and that little bit of advice and a little bit of when you run into your first girl problems and stuff, having that like growing up when I've seen my mates do it, I think it's just kind of, yeah. So that is my
Yeah.
best tattoo, and it literally says that.
I think we can definitely practice these the things that would make us good fathers and good partners now, and a lot of that comes with self care, of keeping your house tidy. It comes with taking care of yourself. The personal hygiene. These things that make a good human makes a good partner, and a good partnership allows for the best father to kind of like appear from within you.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us have this idea of being a dad is like sitting down for advice, being there, supporting, but a lot of it as well is also being that good partner, and it's just being a whole ass person.
Yeah. Being the best person you can be. It's a lot of people don't realize it, but the person you are today does have repercussions to, like, down the line in the future, like to your grandkids and all that. Because if you raise a child in a certain way and they don't turn out as like the best they could because of the way you've raised them, then it's then put on to the grandkids and kids after that, and that's where your personal responsibility does come down to. Like, and I'm a strong believer in, what, my actions at the end of the day, that can affect anyone. I'm a strong believer in the ripple effect, where, like, and it's not even through social media. Like, I'm a strong believer in, like, somebody's decision is affected someone in some way, which then affects my day and how I then react throughout that day. And it's, I'm a sorry, as I say, I'm terrible with words. No,
You started a podcast, you fucked it.
yeah, no, I know. I fucking that's I start on a ramble and I just get lost in my own thought. No, I believe that getting at your best every day, like let your decisions influence everyone around you and then everyone around them. So to think, if that's just your day to day, you've got to be the best person you can throughout your life just to spur on the future. Because if no, we're fucked.
Have you seen Jojo Rabbit, the movie Jojo Rabbit?
I don't believe I have.
I haven't, no.
Oh, it's such a good movie, but there's a scene where Jojo asks his mother, like, "What are we gonna do?" And she says, "We're gonna do the best we can," and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
like that.
speaking of doing the best we can, someone that has been very controversial and just an all-round fucking arsehole, I believe, across social media, is, I'm pretty sure he's actually just been banned for social media. Andrew Tate, we sort of spoke about him earlier. Did any...
He's actually been banned from this podcast.
Yeah, there we are. Now, did any see the video Daz Black put out about him?
I don't think so.
Oh, if you need to go and watch it, brilliant. So you know Daz Black, the YouTuber. He basically just
I'm not good at names.
no, right. So he's quite a big YouTuber. He's done stuff with The Rock, Kevin Hart, and all that. He's hilarious, but it's so obviously Andrew Tate has been all over social media because he's controversial views. He's just an all round arsehole. But my TikTok page has literally been filled with wee snippets of Andrew Tate and then everybody going, watch your back, Daz is coming for you. Because Daz is a person who is not afraid to put out his views, or that he's not afraid of the controversy or the backlash he's going to get, but he tore through Andrew Tate. It was unreal. It was great. But it's like, Conzo, what is your, if you don't mind giving them your wee opinion on Andrew Tate over social media? Because like you're quite big for like social justice and fighting against misogyny and things like that, whereas he's obviously not.
Yeah, no, I made a video that referenced what he is teaching people versus what we should be learning. I saw an amazing tweet not too long ago that said, men are being, this isn't the 1950s anymore. Men aren't needed to exist in society. We're not needed for a house. We're not needed for a bank account. We're not needed for permission for things. So we can't have those element of control and dominations, things like Andrew Tate is teaching. We need to learn to be likable. And this is where men are they're failing on many counts, is to be likable as a partner and as like as a person, because control and likable doesn't usually go hand in hand. I think Andrew Tate doesn't believe what he's saying. I think he knows that making those controversial videos will push out views, which will get people to sign up for his pyramid scheme. It's all a money making. I mean, he has shown in the past that he is willing to use and abuse people for his own professional gain, through the exploitation. I believe he did exploit people because he wasn't giving the fair dues for their work when he was uh, running the whole cam show thing. So he was exploiting sex workers, and it follows through to now he's exploiting the fan base, and he's also trying to reach out to young Muslim men who, are also ostracized and singled out to teach them like, oh, you must be this alpha thing. I I think it's a facade. I think he's weak. He's very insecure, and he is preying on children who do not know better, and also men who do not know better.
Mm.
And it's I think this is one of the times, because it will incite violence and it does incite violence towards women and feminine presented people, that it was the right move to like be like, this is not a message we want in the atmosphere of debate. This isn't good.
Mm. I'm just glad he's been took off. He's been took off all social media: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and like everything. They have. Although I don't know how it works with, like, obviously the ban an account, they can just make a new one. But if
Yeah, I mean,
like,
and plus his videos will be pushed out by his fanboys as well, who are trying to get people to sign up for the Tate University, which is a fucking Discord server. So they make their 5% off of that.
mm,
Like I said, a pyramid scheme. Um, but his way to apologize does show that he is trying to manipulate people. He says, "I am donating money to a female charity." That's still how he sees things. He's like, "I'll donate money to a female charity that does with like domestic violence. See, I'm not a domestic abuser." But no, you can't take back the harm you've done. Like I said, schools are now prepping to teach against his messages because they've seen an uprise in misogyny. Like it's
yeah,
it's a clear cut, this is you, this is what's happening. But there's always going to be an Andrew Tate. There was Andrew Tates before this, and now that they've seen it so profitable, there will be a lot of Andrew Tates.
mm,
So we need to, as men who've seen that there is a better way out there, to push for the message like, no, this isn't a time to control. This is a time to understand and communicate. This isn't a time to think that it's your way or the highway. This is our time to work in partnership with these amazing people. They're amazing because they're your partner. Why would you partner with them if you didn't think they're amazing? Like, if you want someone to control, get a dog, not a cat. A cat cannot be controlled.
as we've seen.
Yeah. He does what he wants.
Yeah. What's your cat's name?
It's Hoden, which is German for testicles, which I think is hilarious. He looks like a wee ball sack.
No, it kind of reminds me of Beerus from Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I think that's actually what the character is based off. So
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah, no, I love it. No, definitely. And people like Andrew Tate they're always going to be in the world, but I think it's that thing about social responsibility again to then be a better role model, teach people a better way. It's there is such controversies in this world that you do have to fight. And I think Andrew Tate and his sort of followers, that's the sort of social injustices that you need to fight against.
Well, unfortunately, I've had this firsthand experience of, I literally said on a TikTok video, like, hey, we can't control our partners anymore. We must be better partners we must be likable. This is a way to be likable. And someone's like, oh, guess we won't pay for meals anymore. Like, why was your first instinct to, one, be combative towards this message, and two, to go towards the only thing you've ever been taught that you contribute to a relationship, which is financially? This is why we are very lucky not to be in a place where men make all the financial decisions and make all the money, because it was a way to financially control someone. You can't leave your abusive husband if they have all the money. You cannot leave a situation if you do not know how to get out there. So this is why we're very lucky not to be in that situation anymore. But it's still our first way to go. People always think, or men are still taught that your only contribution is financial. So anything that tells them to do anything more is suddenly something they must combat.
Mm.
I believe like that everything should be split. Like for me, if you're going out for food, what one day you pay, next day you pay. You know what I mean? If you're doing house chores, you split them down the middle. You know what I mean? You do kitchen, I do bathroom, I'll do bedroom, you do living room. You know what I mean? And make it 50-50, make it fair, and that's the way it should be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're not helping someone take care of your house. You are
No.
taking care of your house in partnership with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not one person's job. And that's what these people like Andrew Tate are saying, like, oh, this is our gender roles. Like we're not all working 40-hour week plus to pay rent. Have you seen rent? It's fucking expensive. Like
Everything
you
is
can
fucking expensive.
yeah, if you think your only job is providing, then you're wrong because everyone is providing here. But now that person is also your partner is also providing plus taking care of so much more of this unpaid labor, and you're just a shitty partner. You are a child in that relationship.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think with the next subject I've actually got to talk about is obviously we all live in the UK, is the cost of living crisis that we are currently going through and all that. And I think that sort of leads into this with, like you say, partnerships, and we've touched on like single parent relationship, like families and all that, and how like the cost of living's just became abysmal now. Like I think with my Lecky meter, I've put in about £100 just this month alone, and it's for if you've got families like that don't have that sort of partnership, or like Andrew Tate's teaching, like, oh well, I put the money towards it, you've got to do everything else and things like that. I think it's got to be very difficult because it puts so much stress on that family, like on that living environment.
I think what we're going to see is a lot of really bad relationships in the future because financial stress is the biggest leader to divorces and breakups and whatnot. Financial stress is the worst kind of stress. It causes the most buildup of cortisol. It is a shitty situation to be in.
Mm.
I do not think there is a way to get ourselves out of this crisis when your outgoing outweighs your ingoing, especially when there hasn't been a rise in pay rise in so long, and you have all these people striking because people are scared. They're scared that inflation is now making it to you are actively taking a pay decrease in a time when you're unsure of how much they're going to allow the electricity company to take away from you, or
Yeah.
you're just unsure of if your government cares about you. And I think this is something that should, in sense, push Scotland towards an idea of independence because Scotland has never voted, at least in the last 20, 30 years, for a Tory government. Labour is as close as they've gone to a Tory government.
Mm.
And we've seen how disregarded Scotland is in Westminster, in the Parliament. They are laughed at. They are looked down at like a facade. It's the same as Puerto Rico to the United States. Technically, Puerto Rico is part of the United States, yet they have no ability to govern over themselves. And because of that, they aren't able to do the things that their people need. They just can't. And I think that's what
Mm.
Scotland's in right now.
No, believe me, definitely. Like I'll say that I was a yes voter. I wanted independence for Scotland, but
You were
it
lied
just
to.
yeah, I was lied to. It was consensus was done for the referendum, and it was the majority was old age pensioners who were told that we would be. They only voted yes because we were told we were staying in the EU. Then EU vote came around. EU vote was majority England. Scotland, Wales, Ireland were all majority stay in the EU, but it didn't matter because England then voted out the EU, and
Mhm.
we didn't get either. We didn't. Scotland never had a say in either. So
Mhm.
but then consensus has been done again, and the majority vote would then be yes because we were lied to by Westminster, by the government. So we're supposed to have another indie ref in
In October
2020.
2023, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if Westminster comes back and says this is actually lawful, you do not get a choice to stay in this. It's no longer a union. At that point, it is a prison. And
Hmm.
Scotland does not have a choice to stay in. So I think the idea of the United Kingdoms will become now a ruled by England kind of thing, because
Hmm.
the rest of the countries will see like, oh, so we don't have a choice in this as well. I do believe that Scotland's values do not equate to England's values. I believe that Scotland has more of an emphasis on community and more of an emphasis on taking care of its people, while England is more driven by the profits that it can make through the NHS, the privatization of the NHS. I do not believe that the majority of Scotland would ever accept that. Yet that is something that we're seeing even today in England.
Yeah. No, as I remember working I used to, as I said, lived in Spain, but one of the guys I worked for, and one of the people high up in the company, he made a comment, and it was about Scotland, England owning Scotland, and if it wasn't my boss, I would have hit him. I'm sitting like, fucking excuse you. So it's,
Yeah. The first thing I noticed when I've been seeing a lot of the coat of arms, where it's the lion and the unicorn is chained, and I think that even that symbolism of that is, look, the unicorn has chains around its legs.
Where's my
Pull it up. And even just the symbolizing of that just made me realize, like, this is Scotland throughout its amazing resources of, the wind, the sun, the oil, the people of Scotland, which are robust, amazing people that I've grown to love. They are chained to England in whatever way England sways. Do you see the chains?
Yes, I do.
Show us.
I ain't no fucking liar.
Like, so,
And I'm sure there's a historical reason for this. I mean, Scotland was conquered. But as you look at it now, that is still the ideals and I believe the morals that a lot of English people have towards Scotland. It is property. It is something they conquered.
I don't know if you see it. I think it's a bit, hold on.
No, you have to pop it up on the video.
You'll be able to see it there. Oh, you can see the chain round it. That is...
Yeah.
I never noticed that, but thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, of course.
I never noticed that before.
Yeah, so
I'm
England
kind
has
of
always
furious.
had the idea. You should be fuming.
Oh, I'm fucking fuming, mate.
You're fucking freaking
out. Right, well, Jesus. Sorry, that's kind of throwing me for a loop there. I honestly
This is the kind of knowledge Conzo brings to the table.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah.
Walks in, mic drop.
Yeah, definitely. So what we'll do...
Man, it's like midnight.
No, that's fine. Lewis, what we'll do is we'll do it to 5. First to 5.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Wait, is there a buzzer? Do we raise our hands?
First person to answer. If you answer, you get it wrong, you're froze out, and the next person gets the answer.
Oh fuck! Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Right. Let's do this. Let's do this.
I'm so bad at general knowledge. I don't generally know anything.
Yeah, to be fair, like I am not the best at all. But
Yeah, nearly bad. Don't worry.
roll. We roll. How we roll.
I'm actually struggling to believe you're not that good with general knowledge because you seem very intelligent, Conzo. I will say that.
It's all
I
concepts.
am pretty surprised. To be fair, I was pretty shocked.
It's all ideas that can be debated and is nothing solid. It's all just something in the sphere of ideas. Once you're like, hey, what's that one town in Texas? I'm like, what the fuck is Texas?
Okay, first question.
Go for it.
Which is Britain's oldest Sunday newspaper, published for the first time in 1791?
Daily Mail.
No.
I didn't know that was gonna be a
Guardian?
Nope.
Oh fuck.
Okay. So I think that goes back to me then. Fuck. What's another one? The Sun.
Nope.
Daily Record.
It's older than that. It's older than the ones you're
Oh
talking about.
fucking hell.
It's one that, to be fair to you, I haven't heard before.
Oh for fuck. Here we go.
I'll give you a clue.
Go for it.
Begins with an O.
The Observer.
Correct.
Literally, as soon as you said the O, I was like, oh, it's the Observer.
I was in the Daily Mail once. They made a big article on me and they labeled it Animal Attraction. It was a naked picture of me. I was like, you're gonna make people think I'm into bestiality or some shit. I was the page 3 gal.
I think, Conzo, I've got to say, I think my favourite photo of you is on your Instagram. It's I think it's for a Halloween party. It's your sexy Dobby.
Oh, me and Janet. Yeah, I love Janet. Oh my God, Janet
Oh.
is the perfect person to be.
Oh, what,
Okay.
Janet Devlin? Oh, I love her content. She's
Wow.
she's brilliant.
We're gonna move on to a bit of a music question.
Okay.
I'm gonna go through some lyrics. Well, through a lyric, and then we'll go from there. Right, okay. The lyrics go. I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric, baby. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on.
I don't know the name, but I know the song. Good
I
song.
got this feeling inside my bones.
Is it
Right.
called I Got This
It goes
Feeling?
electric wavy.
What's
when...
the question? What's the question?
That's it.
Or what's the song called? Or is
Yeah.
it who sings it?
Both. Both. I want both. 2 points.
3? Holy shit.
Right. So it's Justin Timberlake.
1 point.
Electric Feeling.
Nope. Nope.
Just Dance.
Nope.
Oh, that
Fuck.
would be good.
I got this
Electric
feeling
Boogaloo.
inside my bones. It
No.
goes electric wavy when I turn it on.
I know.
The city
Um,
all through my home.
It's gotta be May. I don't know, man. Skip.
Lewis, skip. I'm not going to get the answer.
Okay. Can't stop the feeling.
Can't stop the feeling.
I think Electric
It was-
Boogaloo would have been a better name.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
do,
because
yeah.
it's from Trolls. It's from the first one.
Okay. Next one. We'll stick with a bit of a music one.
Right, go for it.
Music.
Okay. So I want to know the name of the artist and the song.
Right.
Okay? I don't care what they say. I'm in love with you. They try to pull me away. But they
Alicia
don't
Keys.
know the truth. Nope.
Fuck.
Jordan Sparks?
what they say. I'm in
No. It's Leona Lewis. Is it Leona Lewis?
Leona Lewis is correct. That's 1 point.
Nice.
And
The
it's
song. What's the song called?
I'm bad at names, so yeah, this is all you, man, if you got it.
My heart's breaking back.
Red-handed, sleeping with the girl next door.
It's a bit shaggy.
They don't know that it's breaking.
Come on, Shagger. You got this.
Burning Love.
Nope.
Oh, fuck. Right. What's the answer?
Bleeding Love.
Bleeding Love.
Bleeding Love.
Oh.
Oh, that was in, what's it called? No Strings Attached.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Okay, so
No more music. I hate
we're
music.
gonna go into a bit of a movie TV round.
I'm
All
bad at
right.
movies and TV too.
Okay, so. Ah. Okay, so question number 13. You both should get this, all right?
Right.
Who was I in the I Am Legend?
Oh, Smith. Will Smith.
Correct.
Ha!
Correct.
Yeah. Fair.
Okay. Ah,
I almost said Jaden Smith.
you ready? What is
Yeah.
the name of the villain in the first Superman movie in the 1980 played by
Lex Luthor.
Correct. Reaper.
I should have got that.
Oh. Okay. Who played James Bond in For Your Eyes Only?
James Bond.
Pierce Brosnan.
Nope.
Ooh.
Who played James Bond in For Your Eyes Only?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he sexually assaulted someone in that movie.
Is it Connery? Is it Sean Connery?
Nope.
I have no idea.
Uh,
I don't even remember my name half the time.
it's right. It's not Daniel Craig. Fuck. I'm trying to remember the name of the rest of the James Bonds. No, I'm not going to get it, mate.
Roger Moore.
Sir Roger Moore. Yeah.
Okay. Right, we'll do another one. We'll do another one on the old movie.
Go for it. Go for it.
What is the name of the possessed girl played by Linda Blair in The Exorcist?
Annie.
Nope.
Emily
I don't
Rose.
know.
No.
Susan.
No.
Anna Grace.
Begins with an R.
Roger.
Rachel.
Nope.
Rochelle.
Nope. Second letter is an E.
Rebecca.
Nope.
What?
Rianne.
No.
Regan.
Correct.
Thank
Nice.
fuck. Jesus. Gone through a full baby book there.
One. Last one for the music. Movie, TV round. Okay. Which Bruce starred in Die Hard?
Bruce Willis.
Correct.
You're missing all the bald guys, man. Lex Luthor, Bruce.
No, the thing,
this should be your kinship.
Man, Die Hard's one of my favourite movies. Like I'm furious right now. I dressed up as John McClane from Die Hard at a Christmas party, just because there's the argument if Die Hard's a Christmas film.
I don't care if I lose then, because I took away your Die Hard.
Oh no, I know, man. For all these things, you're going to win.
Hey. General knowledge. Insulin is commonly used to treat which condition?
Diabetes.
Correct.
I have a degree in biology. That one was going to be me anyway.
5-3.
Do you want me to tell you about the B cells? It's in your pancreas, bitch.
And Conzo takes the win.
Yeah.
Conzo, do you have a wee victory speech for us?
No, but I got to dance. Hold on.
Go on, give it a
I got my
chance.
little shorts on.
Love it.
Hey. Oh. Well, all of my baldy points were just took away from there.
I'm the bald man now.
I am heartbroken because I have not won a quiz yet. But you know what? I'm happy to lose to Conzo because he's a wholesome being and he's been an absolute great guest to have on. But I will take this loss and try and build from it, learn from it, learning experiences.
Just say that you suck.
I fucking suck. But yeah, Conzo, thank you very much for being on. It's been an honour to have you on, honestly. But
I can't wait to get my new camera tomorrow because my camera is shocking.
I can't wait to see what you look like, tell you the truth. I am guessing.
That's
Yeah, you need to paint a picture.
Yeah, no, definitely. At that, thank you to everyone who has joined in, listened, and basically just listened to us. Well, usually we talk a lot of shit, but to be honest with you, Conzo's brought across some very great points today. So thank you to everyone that has watched, and hopefully everyone out there can take some stuff away for this. I know I will be. But yeah, no, definitely. Lewis, anything you want to end on?
I just want to say thanks so much, Conzo, for coming on and entertaining us. I've actually had a great couple of hours filming this, and yeah, let's go.
Yeah, good luck editing.
It's gonna be. Yeah, no, definitely.
We've gone through a lot of ups, a lot of downs. We kind of opened up a lot, and we kind of put our opinions across about what's going on in the world and how men and women should both be treated. So yeah, honestly, thanks so much, Conzo, for coming on, and yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, definitely. So we thank you everybody for watching again. If there is anyone you would like to see us have on, we will try our best. If there's any questions you want to put to us, just let us know. All of our socials are down below. Conzo, if you are okay with it, we'll attach your socials as well so people can find you.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will hope to see you the next time.
Bye.
Peace out. Thank you very much, guys.
Peace.